Hello, I'm Jomika, and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program. This is episode 17. So last time we left off with the space station here. All of our Kerbals, except for two, are stranded. We had no parachutes on this guy to return home. This was going to be our return home stage. And yeah, we have nothing there. So what we're going to do is we have two guys in here and we need two to run it. So we are going to take everyone else home. I think there's 9 Kerbals total on here. But let's go ahead and go back to the tracking center. Actually, we could just go up here to the space center. We can go to the astronaut complex and take a look to see who is on mission and who is not. So in here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we're going to leave 2 scientists on board. So that means we're going to be taking 7 home. And we'll probably send a pilot up. So we need a vessel of 8 to be able to go up into space, dock with the space station, and return home safely. So I'm going to go ahead and build that vessel, and then we'll come back and we'll hopefully launch it into space and rescue all those Kerbals up there. Alright, our spaceship is ready, and we are going to go ahead and do the ascent guidance again. We'll make sure it's at 120 kilometers, and we want to wait until our space station, we also want to set it as target, we want to wait until it's about here. So we'll go ahead and fast forward a little bit. And just wait for the space station to get a little closer to us. That way we don't have to maneuver as much once we're in space. So that seems fine. We can go ahead and take off from here, engage autopilot, and do that. And we'll go ahead and fast forward, let that go into space, and once it's in orbit, we can go ahead and adjust or do some maneuvers to get us closer to the space station. Alright, that couldn't have been a better launch. We are super close, we are underneath, so that means we are moving faster along this line than the space shuttle space station is. So we can go ahead and point directly at the target. We'll go ahead and bring it this way. We just want to bring our prograde marker directly towards the target. And if we look at the map, we can see this is adjusting and getting closer. But we're not going to worry too much about that because we have tons of a delta V that we can just use. So we will keep an eye on that. We'll point retrograde to the target and speed up. And we just want to make sure that we get close, but not too close. We'll keep an eye on our distance and our speed. Just make sure we're not going too fast and we can slow down before we crash into the space station if we end up getting that close. But the map here is showing that our closest approach will be 2.7 kilometers. So we don't have to worry about actually crashing into it right now. We just don't want to overshoot it. So we'll wait until about 3 kilometers away. And then we can go ahead and burn to slow down our speed relative to the target. So if you click this, you can change it from target, orbit, and surface. We just want to point retrograde to the target. So we can go ahead and speed this up a little bit. Just bring it down to about 0, or as close as we can to 0. There we go. And now we want to point at the target. So I'll just go ahead. Since Jebediah isn't that skilled of a pilot, we don't have the SAS controls to point at the target, so we have to do it manually. And we'll just bring that marker right in there. So let's go ahead and wait here, and if we go to the map again, it should show we're basically going to run into it. Separation 5 kilometers. Okay, I lied. Ignore that. But we are headed towards the target, so that's okay. So we're going to get even closer. A little bit of lag there. And I guess 2.2 is as close as we're going to get. So we'll bleed off our speed again. And we'll point at the target one more time. We'll go all the way around because I turned the wrong direction. There we go. And same thing. Point directly at the target. Really, we want the prograde marker to be in the center of the target here. So that pink circle is the target, and the yellow one is the prograde marker. And we want the pink and the yellow to line up exactly, and then when we get close, we'll want our ship to be pointed right in the middle of both of those. And that would be a perfect lineup. Why are we not getting closer? 2.1. I mean, that's what we're at now. So let's go a little faster. Just point directly at it and go full throttle for a second. And kind of do the same process again. And eventually we'll get closer and closer. Yeah, it keeps getting a little further away. Or it's drifting a lot. Probably because I'm not pointing directly at the target. So we'll bring this in as close as we can. And then we'll bleed off our speed. And we can go ahead and bleed off our speed right here. And we'll point right at the target again. And I went the wrong way one more time. So just do the same thing. And we're actually still getting a little closer. There we go. And once we can see it, we can make sure we select the correct docking port on the map, or not the map, on the ship. And then we'll switch to the other ship as well and select the docking port here. So we can aim at it, line it up, so we can just dock. So 400. Yeah, I'm really having issues going straight at it for whatever reason. So we'll bleed off our speed. relative to the target. And we'll switch over just as soon as I point this at the target. There we go. That's what I wanted. Got it right the first time. So point there, and we will control from, we'll use this docking port. Control from here, so that'll adjust the nav ball. That way we can have that docking port point directly at our ship. So we'll go ahead and leave that one right there. We can switch back, and we can go ahead and do a few more burns directly at the target. Go retrograde real quick. We don't want to slam into it at 5 meters per second because that will probably break something. So I like to aim for under a meter per second when docking, just to make sure it's as smooth as possible. And it can have time to adjust, and the magnets can do it instead of the ship's engines. So now we'll bring this down to 0. We can go to our RCS, and we will control it that way. So we are pointed directly at that docking port, I think. So yeah, we are correctly pointed at it. We can switch back over, make sure, yep, we're still good here. So we can just kind of wait here. And if it starts to drift, then we can turn on our RCS and use JK, L, and I to keep that yellow circle in the center of the pink one. And actually, I'll just show you real quick. So I'll turn on the RCS with R, and J will send it one way, L will send it the other, and I and K, they're reversed right now, but they send it up and down. So as long as your orientation is correct, you can use that. I have a hard time seeing this pink sometimes. See if I could get a little closer. Yeah, we want to move it down. There we go. And we can use H and N to move ourselves faster and slower. So there, we're going a little faster, 1 meter per second. And the trick is to be patient, because I always screw up when I start to be impatient and go faster than I should. But if you just take your time and go slow, you shouldn't have too much of a problem. So there we go. We'll turn off the RCS. And yeah, we hit too fast. So let's point there. And I guess we also weren't really lined up exactly right. So just minor adjustments here. Go back to this ship, make sure we're pointed correctly. And one more time. There we go, and we're connected. So a little crazy at the end there, but that's okay. So now, how's this? These fuel tanks. We will empty these. Well, actually, empty this one. We want to make sure we have enough to get back. There we go. That should be plenty. And we can start to transfer everyone over. So we will keep you guys in there. You're both scientists. We'll select this pod, transfer crew, there, and same thing here. Where is transfer crew? There we go. So this one is empty. The same thing with this one. Transfer. Transfer. Was that everyone? I guess so. I thought got 1, 2, 3, 4 in here. 1 in here. And 1 in there. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Are we missing some people in space somewhere else? No one in there. This is not a crew thing. Right click it anyways. Yeah, no one in there. Transfer crew, no one in there. There's no one going to be in those. Did I deorbit something with people in it? Let's go ahead and quick save here. We'll go to the tracking station. We have Kerbals lost in space. So this one is the Minmus mission. It's on suborbital trajectory. And I'm hoping no one's on board. Yeah, no one's on board. Let's go to the Space Center. And maybe the astronaut complex will tell us where people are. So, I was counting here. 8 people are in space. So that means we're bringing 6 back. Okay, so I just screwed up from the beginning of the mission. Everyone is accounted for. Let's go back into space. We'll control that vessel to bring home. If I can find it. I guess it's just going to be that. And we will bring all of these Kerbals home. Leave 2 of you in space still, just so you can do our research for us. You are researching. You have 1.1 science. And you are the piece we're going to send home. So we will unlock. There is just 2 of you left, so that's good. We'll push the bracket to go here again. And we will point retrograde, which we almost are. So we'll turn on our RCS, and we'll push, I think, L. Sure, doesn't matter. We just want to get away from this ship. So when we point retrograde, we can just fire and go home. The Space Center is here, so we'll probably want to burn somewhere around here. Here? Actually, we'll just go ahead and burn now. I don't want to wait. We don't need all that money. So we'll bring it down to 46K. And there was plenty of fuel left, but we can just go ahead and fast forward and get everyone home. So we'll go ahead and fast forward, get everyone home, and then we'll join back and reassess everything we have. So I'll see you in a second. Alright, let's hope that this lands okay. I transferred some guys just to make sure we don't lose the important ones, and we're okay. I wasn't sure what this could handle. I totally forgot about that, and yeah, we ended up being okay. But I want to make sure I saved Barlow and Bob. Bob's our best pilot, and Barlow is the person we wanted to recover and bring back to the space station. We also had a close call with the engine stage. We released it just in the atmosphere, and it started to catch up to us and looked like it might start to hit us, so I had to turn to move our thing out of the way, use the aerodynamic pressure from falling, and kind of steer it best we could, but we survived it. So let's go ahead and take a look here. We finished the contract, and that was for rescuing Barlow from the orbit of Minmus. We completed the reward and got $250,000, our Spaceos, and we have 1.1 million Spaceos to spend, and 950 science. We didn't get any science from that mission, but that's okay. I think I'm going to save the spending for next episode. But that's going to do it for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed the kind of transferring and docking and all that stuff. So if you liked the video, be sure to hit the like button. And if you haven't subscribed already and don't want to miss any future episodes, be sure to do that. Thank you for joining me. I will see you guys next time.